Hey YouTube, it's Kay again. Right now you're looking at a special piece that I made for this inspired by the pandemic Christmas that we're currently experiencing right now, unfortunately. So this process involves cutting and layering and adding some additional parts to this piece to later on we will see how it would look like. And right now is the cutting process. I made sure that each asset is hand painted and complete so that we won't be avoiding any mistakes or mismatches as we go to the animation process that I will show on later. So the story of this animation is that Facebook has notified me that I've made a really old animation for like 4 years ago, but a really old Christmas animation that I made. The only similar about these two or those two is that it's all original. Then I really thought that why not put some time to create another one or an updated one in which I can tell if I improved, and also to extend extend some greetings to everyone virtually and make people smile in my little own way. So that's where this girl came into my mind. It took me about 30 minutes for sketching and creating thumbnails for this piece because I wanted this to be super wholesome and fun at the same time. So this girl came into my mind. The setting is that it's Christmas Eve and she's going to call her family, her friends as well, and then as she greets them, she posts or takes a selfie, and surprisingly her toys came to life and joined her selfie. So in the end, it's a really fun or magical groupie in where her toys joined her selfie, and then in the end she was just really shocked, but then she shrugged it off because she concluded that yeah, it's only her imagination that her toys came to life. Yeah, it's a really funny story, but yeah, that's how this animation was inspired of. Another thing is that I wanted something challenging for this piece to put in. So yeah, last minute I was sketching this. I was really inspired to make it more interesting than the usual animation that I made. That's why I decided to put on extra assets for it, like 4 types of lips and 2 types of hands. And the most interesting part is that with the dialogue, I must have a voice to it. That's why this is the first time that I recorded my voice and then, sync in the lips of the character to my voice. So that's really fun and enjoyable and challenging at the same time. But I really did have a great time working on this. So for this animation, I'm just going to show you around on how I rigged and animated this because I haven't got the chance to record on how I did it actually because I don't have enough memory on my laptop. So right now, let's just go to the pelvis, and each time I rotate it, the joints for the shoulders and the legs are not following it. That's why it's because I disabled the rotation just to make sure that the physics or the gravity of the shoulders and the legs just falls on the ground naturally. I also did that to the hat bone, if you can see right there. Also, yeah, for the lips, I really did put effort to mesh all of those lips, and then if you can see right there, I put on some designated bones to it, so each time I move it, it just follows the bones. So I distributed the bone influences to the mouth's mesh, and for this mouth and the other mouth. So right now, I'm just going to show you how I rig the face, also the hat, the influences as well, and yeah, I'm just going to show you this. That's how I made the hat smoother. I also separated the hair behind and put some bones to it because I wanted to show a really smooth hair flow throughout the animation. As I've said earlier, I decided I'd like to make two versions of a hand, so one that's really open and one that can do a cute selfie pose. So that's it. I decided to separate each some of the fingers, and this the other hand looks like that because I wanted to use that when she wanted to hold the phone. So that's it for the hands. For the other hand, it's just a whole piece. Then I just make sure that the rotation has been disabled, so whenever I turn the lower arm, it just drops naturally. For the legs, it's just the classic rig that I usually do. I just make sure that the lower leg has both of the legs influences, both up and down bones are influenced to the lower leg so that it doesn't disconnect. For the additional, I made bones, or I put bones to the eyebrows and additional bones to the cheeks, so whenever she smiles, she has a little subtle muscle moving on her face. For the blinking, what I usually do is just to separate this animation because it's kind of like the final touches of my pieces. So whenever I wanted them to blink, I just copy this animation and then paste them to the main animation. Now the animation is separated into two parts. So the first part is that she's kind of like texting on her phone, just like that. And I wanted to make sure that this animation is quite good to be looked, or it's okay to hook up into the second animation. So for the second animation, as you can see here, the second part is where she takes her selfie and the animals join her. So that's how I do that. As you can look closer, we polished the mouth or lip sync like so. You can see the transition, and you can also see some of the flaws of it because spine has some little limitations to it. But yeah, as you can see closely, that's how I did the lip sync. The last part of the animation would be the toys. So here you go. We have this bunny, and I'm just going to show you how I rig and animate each toy. So they all have the same agenda for the animation. All they have to do is to sit still and then pop out or go into the selfie, and then they just go back to their normal self sitting, but just wanted to make sure that they're fluffy enough and cute enough to give them justification on how they would look and how adorable they can get. Just to give you the idea for the bunny, she's just going to stretch her ears as she kind of makes a little sneak to the selfie. There's a very interesting part of the sheep. If you can look closely, it's going to turn 360 degrees while it jumps. For the adorable little chicken, just wanted her to jump, but while jumping, she's going to flap her wings as really fast as she can, and then she's just going down with a little bit of jiggle to her. And last but not the least, this super duper cute octopus that you see right here. So as it sneaks to the camera, her legs will go all the way up to reach the camera. As you can see right there, she's really doing her best to get into the selfie. It's super cute. The final animation that I made is the Christmas light effects. I just made one glowing effects and just duplicate it and place it to the other light bulb. And then just play them simultaneously. That's all. So basically that's how we made this special original piece for 2020. I hope you guys have a great holiday coming ahead. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. See you next time. Happy holidays!